Welcome to the Brothers Club, the show where two brothers wax on and wax off nostalgic about all the sportos, motorheads, geeks, sluts, bloods, wastoids, dweebies, and dickheads you all adore.
Each week we count down the top 5 of everything that defined the greatest decade in pop culture history, the 80s.
My name is Shane Smith.
I'm Brett Smith.
And this week we are opening up the gospel according to John Hughes and counting down the top teen movies of the 80s.
The movies that defined the decade. Number 5, got Risky Business.
Risky Business. Teen movie.
Weren't they teenagers?
Yeah, I just don't...
Or you're going to tell me
wow.
Risky Business wasn't a teen movie?
I think they were teenagers who were getting ready for college, but it...
How can Risky Business not be a teen movie? We're going to start this off with this.
So it's okay. Tom Cruise is Joel.
And Joel's a teenager.
Booger is Miles.
Oh, Booger, my man. Booger's a teenager.
Rebecca De Mornay is a hooker.
She's a hooker. She's not a teenager.
Guido
the Pimp wasn't a teenager. It's a teenage movie.
It's a movie that has teenagers in it. It's a classic 80s movie even. It's not a teenage movie. Where's the high school in Risky Business?
Doesn't have to be high school.
Where's the hallway? Where's the prom?
Doesn't
quarterback?
I have enough of those on my list.
All right.
I have enough of those on my list.
If your list can eventually pick up steam, holy shit.
Wait a minute, you're really gonna get on me about Risky Business. Risky Business, okay, is a classic movie.
Classic movie, but like when I think of the 80s movies, I think of soundtracks with like Simple Minds and the Thompson Twins. Yours is
Bob Seger, old time rock and roll.
All right, you're dating yourself. How much older are you than me?
Dude, don't.
All right, no.
Hold on a second.
I'm just saying.
Hold on a second. Now I'm baffled.
It's
Risky Business, number 1, is one of the most classic 80s movies going.
I'm sorry.
No, let me finish.
I agree.
Let me finish.
Movies.
Let me finish. Yes, 80s movie. They are teenagers. It's done in a different way.
Right.
Than a lot of the teenage. But you know what? I got a little diversity in here. I got my movies with the school. I got my movies with. But
you have a teen movie without the high school. You have a teen movie without any of the John Hughes archetypes. That's fine. Okay, that's fine.
Go to school.
Risky Business.
Portia, there is no substitute.
Fuck you.
My number 5. Can't Buy Me Love.
Gay.
To me, Can't Buy Me Love that's the classic high school story.
Holy shit. Oh, dude, thank you.
Ronald McDonald.
Wait a minute. Oh, no.
What is 80s?
Hold on a minute.
Optimistic
You got your
80s.
You got your chance at first. Let me.
Okay.
Can I just make sure that really is on your paper?
Can't Buy Me Love. Oh, it came out
Can't Buy
August
Me Love.
14, 1987. Still remember the day I saw it in the theaters on vacation.
Okay.
Yeah. Coming out of my freshman year.
All right. So you automatically rip me apart on Risky Business with Tom Cruise.
You keep going for star power.
No, it's got nothing to do with star
power. There's nobody
power.
in America that ever thinks of Tom Cruise as a high school kid.
Not a bad movie, but of all the classic teen movies,
for all the reasons why Risky Business shouldn't be on your list, how can you identify with Risky Business? You weren't trying to get into Princeton. You never found yourself in a situation Can't Buy Me Love to me.
I don't have to identify with a movie. It's a classic
Ronald
movie.
McDonald Miller is me. So I'm just finishing up my freshman year in high school.
So
I was a very popular kid in middle school.
Yeah.
And in high school, I found myself, I was a little late going through puberty. I kind of got lost in the shuffle.
I hope
was
every
sort of
one of
left
your
behind.
top 5 doesn't have to relate to you.
But that's what high school movies are to me.
They are, but we're talking about, what do we say in our opening? Movies that define a decade.
And
so I'm thinking movies
Can't Buy Me Love.
All right, hold on. I don't want to get off track here. We're on Risky Business and we're on Can't
Buy Me Love.
Right? Now, I think it's safe to say that Risky Business is more of a classic movie.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's also safe to say, which you're going to argue with me, Risky Business is a teen movie.
Oh,
it's a teenage movie. It's different than
different.
a lot of the John Hughes films.
In that those movies don't have pimps and hookers.
Right. The pimps and hookers got nothing to do with it. The pimps and you're still.
So we have brain, jock, basket case, pimp, hooker.
That's just a little part of the story.
But you're not giving. So like I said, Can't Buy Me Love. It's an incredibly relatable movie.
But it's...
You're trying to fit in high school again. You've sort of been lost in the shuffle, and you finally have that opportunity to, insert yourself back into the social pipeline of high school. That was me in high school, and I totally.
I noticed you brought up Booger, right? You mentioned Booger. You were trying to knock the movie Booger because you got the redheaded dude from Children of the Corn.
Courtney Gaines, who was excellent acting, great.
You know his name.
Great character actor. Let's go down the list. Judges Children of the Corn. Great Stephen King adaptation, by the way.
Hold on a minute. You know
multiple
Malachi, the redheaded kid from, you know his name, Courtney Gaines.
Of course.
I know I was an asshole to you and to thousands of others. Kenneth, it's you I gotta straighten this out with. You shit on my house, man. No. You shit on my house!
He was a pretty successful character.
Oh, he was huge.
He was in
doing well now too.
He was in Sweet Home Alabama. You know who else was in Can't Buy Me Love?
Who's that?
Well, Dennis Dugan played the father. He's a director now. He makes like a lot of the Adam Sandler movies. But who was it from Austin Powers? Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Yeah.
So you're gonna use Seth Green to try to now get me to...
I'm just saying, 80s movies didn't need star power.
That movie is a good...
It even had that clap scene where it's like, remember we were all best friends? It's all bullshit. Why can't we all just be friends again? All right, I've said enough. We'll come back to it later.
It really is on his list. Can't Buy Me Love.
What is your number 4, Brett? Go.
Should I show them?
Number 4.
Can't Buy Me Love.
Number 4, Brett.
Footloose.
Can't argue with that. Can't argue with that. I could even argue that it should be higher up on the list.
I mean, I can't see Footloose not being on anybody's...
It had it all.
Great movie.
It had it all.
Cause every time he pulls me near, I just wanna cheer. Let's hear it for the boy. Let's give the boy a hey, yeah. Let's hear it for my baby. You know you gotta understand.
What made it become an ultimate classic teenage movie, it had two of the necessities of 80s movies. You had your big dance at the end, and you had an awesome soundtrack. I mean, it was just, and
True.
It had those moments that...
True. All in all, it was just a good movie.
Oh, absolutely.
It was a good movie. Okay. I mean, come on, any movie, they just remade it years ago.
No,
I mean, it's
they remade Can't Buy Me Love.
So we're not arguing...
But they remade Can't Buy Me Love. It was with Nick Cannon. About 5-6 years ago. Yeah. So
I don't remember. I'm a big movie fan, dude. I don't remember that. And God, why would they redo Can't Buy Me Love?
I know. Why would you try to?
Now let me ask you this:
He was not
the redhead from Children of the Corn. What's his name again?
Courtney Gaines.
Courtney Gaines.
He was busy.
Courtney Gaines busy was not in that movie.
My number 4
That's probably
is
why it flopped.
You're right. You're right.
God,
Very bankable.
Malachi in there,
Very
dude.
bankable. It's like my number 4 is Say Anything. Say Anything to me. Again, we're going through this structure of where I was at different times in my life. Say Anything was the movie where I
like the movie.
I'd grown past my Ronald McDonald phase. I was becoming Lloyd Dobler. I was like, what the hell? I'm almost done with high school. What have I done? And I started taking chances. And I love the whole idea of the every high school student going after the prettiest.
I like the movie. I like the movie.
Oh, boy, here we go.
No. I'm not gonna listen.
Is it kickboxing?
No.
I don't want to sell anything, buy anything, or process anything as a career. I don't want to sell anything bought or processed, or buy anything sold or processed, or process anything sold, bought, or processed, or repair anything sold, bought, or processed. As a career, I don't want to do that. I don't know, I can't figure it all out tonight, so I'm just going to hang with your daughter.
I thought they could have done something different with the whole, with the father scene.
Oh, the whole nursing home.
Something about that. I thought other than that, there were so many great scenes in that movie. You got the classic Peter Gabriel.
Sport of the future.
Right.
There's plenty of guys, be a man.
Absolutely. And I just feel like, in my personal opinion, that whole father scenario and obviously to make that movie work, you have to
have it. She had to have a reason to pull away from her father and move closer.
Absolutely. And I'm I'm not bagging on that because I tell you that would be in my top 10.
All right.
Say Anything would be in my top 10.
Risky
It's just
Business would not be in my top 10.
Well, and
Can't
obviously
Buy Me
we
Love
know Can't Buy Me Love would be in my
your
top 100.
All right, 100 teen movies or
Dude, if there were 80 teen movies done in there, that's 81.
I remember seeing you watch it, and I think you may have even cried at the end. All right, you're number 3, Brad. You're number 3.
Malachi. Number 3, which I know is a lot of people's number 1, but I'll explain why I have it at just number 3 is Breakfast Club.
Wow. Number 3.
Number 3.
We may not be having this conversation today.
But,
The name of our show is The Brothers Club.
well, you know what? Brothers have different opinions. Breakfast Club, look, here's the deal. Like I said, in a lot of people's eyes, Breakfast Club is that Rebel Without a Cause of it's that blackboard jungle. It defines the 80s, which it does.
You through?
How many is that? That's 7, including the one when we first came in. You asked Mr. Vernon here whether Barry Manilow knew that he raided his closet.
Now it's 8. You stay out of it.
Excuse me, sir, it's 7.
Shut up, Pee-wee.
So give me your number 3.
Okay.
And then we'll come back to Breakfast Club.
Oh, we're coming back to Breakfast Club.
All right, because I'm sure Breakfast Club is your number 1.
My number 3.
By the way you're dealing with this, it's your number 1. So go ahead.
My number 3 is we don't have to go any further. I mean, Footloose, like I said, for the same reasons why you loved it. I mean, it is
top 5.
It is as
top
classic 80s, and like I said, I keep going back to the soundtrack, and I also like the montage scenes, which became so famous. You know, the videos, the working out, the dancing, I mean, Christ, Rocky IV, I think, even stole that when Sylvester Stallone was training in Russia.
Right, and the fact that, they do a remake, and the remake's a hit.
And they did a remake of Can't Buy Me Love, too, and I think that had more success.
I gotta look that one up.
So Footloose, no argument. Okay, so you're number 2.
Number 2, I don't know, I'm gonna hear shit about this. Because I know this would be nowhere near your probably top 20.
Holy shit.
The movie, in my opinion, the teen movie that started it all.
And it wasn't made by John Hughes?
Wait for it. Fast Times at Ridgemont High. What are you going to tell me that's not a teen movie?
It's not that. It's the Listen. I love Cameron Crowe. I know his story. I know he went undercover in American high school in Los Angeles. He wrote the book that Amy Heckerling based the movie on. Know it all. Dude, but you are talking about a high school movie.
Please don't sound like a prude here. I know what you're going to say.
Ron Johnson is a 26-year-old stereo salesman who picks up a high school freshman in Jennifer Jason Leigh, takes her to a Little League baseball dugout, and she loses her virginity.
Okay.
And then Damone shows up, takes off his clothes, leaves on his white wigwams, and proceeds to bang her and dump her in her pool house.
Gets her pregnant.
All right, but you owe me for this one.
Thanks, Damone. And that was the last we ever saw of him.
The same movie. And then you start talking about one of the heroes of the story is a kid that is constantly smoking dope and high.
Relax. All right? My old man is a television repairman. Got this ultimate set of tools. I can fix it.
You can't fix this car, Macaulay.
I can fix it.
And then I have to say, I love the movie. Entertaining as all hell. But I saw it at 10 years old. I was like, I'm not going to high school.
But I had to give credit where credit was due. In my opinion, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, like I said, started it all. During it was early '80s, very early '80s. Before that, where was the big teen movie? In my opinion, all these movies on any 80s list, on our list, any 80s teen list, it starts with Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Because I don't care what anybody says, John Hughes, all these other directors, that is the movie that got people geared up to say, whoa, these teen movies work. Now, I'll admit they toned it down a little bit. It was a little over the top, but it was a hit. And it made studios wake up and say, we can have movies where
teenagers are taken seriously, and it absolutely did that.
Right.
But
now here's the deal, though.
John Hughes, if he threw away the Fast Times script when he started making his movies.
Okay.
To me, it doesn't capture the spirit of the teen movies that I'm talking about, like my number 2, which is 16 Candles. I mean, there is nothing more classic high school than 16 Candles.
Yeah,
you have all the archetypes that Hughes has in Breakfast Club, and they're all in full bloom. "16 Candles" to me is a near perfect movie, and I would argue that not only is it one of the best teen movies, I almost think it laid new ground for what rom-coms became. I mean, really did.
Guess what? That's my number 1.
All right.
And
all right,
as I said before, we would get back to this. The reason I gave Fast Times number 2, first of all, nothing's coming before 16 Candles.
All right.
Because in my opinion, 16 Candles, that's my kid's favorite.
I can't
movie. That's one of my kids' just flat out favorite movies. Right? 16 Candles has everything. Just like you were. I mean, it has. You got the look at the family. You know, you got to look at everything going on in the school.
No more Yankee, my wanky.
You got Long Duck Don.
Hey, Howard, there's your Chinaman. Oh, thanks, Fred. Bye, Don. What the?
Where I hate debating anything against Breakfast Club, or debating against Breakfast Club because it's such a classic and I love the movie. But where 16 Candles is just a happy movie to watch. It's just everything about it. I mean, it's funny. It ends great. You have Breakfast Club that's, in my opinion, a dark movie. It's got its funny parts, but you have 5 kids, right? 5 kids.
Mm-hmm.
You have 5 teenagers who not only do they through the whole movie discuss their terrible home lives. We get to see a little of this when these parents drop them off at school because they make sure that they let you see, wow, what a dick, or the father, Emilio Estevez's father, So you're watching that movie, and it's a great movie. You're listening to all these problems, and my thing is like, you walk away from that movie, and it's like they're unhappy kids.
Right.
Here's what I saw with the ending, and I still love the movie. Here's what I saw with the ending. They're still unhappy. They're still going home to those parents. Remember, even at the end, Molly Ringwald says, no, I don't think there's any chance that we're all going to come Monday. We're still going to ignore each other.
And to me, the most truthful line of the whole movie.
Absolutely.
So on Monday, what happens?
Are we still friends, you mean? We're friends now, that is?
Yeah.
Do you want the truth?
Yeah, I want the truth.
I don't think so.
That patch is going to be going right back on.
So basically, John Hughes, where in most his movies,
all his movies, he has that killer happy ending.
He has that Breakfast Club.
I think,
didn't.
I think he needed to get Breakfast Club out of his system.
Right.
Here's the thing. If you told me that Breakfast Club came first, that's what doesn't make sense. 16 Candles came first.
Right.
It's almost like he made Breakfast Club, he introduced the 5 archetypes, and then he said, now let me throw them out into the world, and that's what 16 Candles became.
Makes sense.
But I can't argue. To me, it's... I guess I would challenge any of our viewers, if we have any after one episode, to give us a better, in my opinion, 1, 2 than 16 Candles of Breakfast Club. I know you have Breakfast Club at number 3. I would, to me it's 1, 2 Breakfast Club, 16 Candles, and I don't think there's much room to debate.
Well, I could tell you what a good debate can do, and I'm serious about this. After our debate, I'm staying where I'm at with Risky Business. It's number 5.
All right.
I know you're not moving on Can't Buy Me Love, but I'm done with that nonsense. Fast Times at Ridgemont High, you made a lot of good points. And I guess the only credibility that I was, let alone it was a great movie, and it was a great movie at the time, and it was funny. So many classic lines.
I can just go
I mean,
on
Sean
and on.
Penn, Jess McCauley.
Brett, I'm looking back at it now.
Pop culture icon there, Jess
But
McCauley.
and I'm looking at the movie now through the glasses of a guy that has a 12-year-old daughter, and you have a daughter in high school.
And you definitely opened my eyes to that.
But I also remember at the time watching that, laughing at it.
Didn't think much of it.
But I'm 10 years old when I saw it. Why the hell I was allowed to watch it at 10? But I was scared to death of high school after watching
let's
it.
put it this way. You know, think about it. And again, how times change. Now, me as a parent now, and I'm very easygoing with my kids, you know that, and you are the same way, watching movies. But thinking about those few things that you mentioned about that, no, I'm not letting my kids watch that movie. So I'm looking at that now, and you know, I don't know if I'd completely take it off my list. I don't know there's a few I'd put in its place. Could be Say Anything. That could be something, but that would bump Breakfast Club to number 2. And I agree with you. Anyone that could give me a list of their top 5 80s teen movies and not have Breakfast Club and 16 Candles.
I agree. I agree.
So I think with this list, what we figured out is 16 Candles, 16 Candles, Breakfast Club, and Footloose.
And absolutely. To me, there's no debate.
Right?
There's no debate.
We agree with those 3.
They're as close to being flawless as you can find. So the only other thing that I want to say that's not on this list, and I think it's obscene that we haven't brought it up, is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Maybe the most iconic 80s character, or at least 80s teen character. My reason for not putting on the list, one, I can't have 3 John Hughes movies in there, and 2, to me, Ferris Bueller was sort of the hero. He was this flawless teen character that didn't represent me. I think you've said it once before.
I don't think
it's more of a fantasy story.
Who would he represent?
Right. He's like Superman without kryptonite.
I mean, you know, the mannequin in the bed.
Alone. It's almost Home Alone, basically. That's
good point.
It's almost like an earlier version of Home Alone.
Where these movies that we have put down on our list, where people can relate to most of them, yeah. I mean, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is how do you? I mean, the parents, and he's running and he's passing the parents' car, and it was like mousetrap.
It was like, come on. All right, so
but it's a classic.
It is a classic,
and it would definitely be on my top 10.
It's not top 5. It's knocking on the door of top 5 for me. All right, so those are our top 5s. We'd love to hear your thoughts on what you think we missed. What's on your list? You better make sure you have your top 5 with 16 Candles and Breakfast Club. I'm hoping that some of you agree with me that Can't Buy Me Love should be on the list, but hey, I'm asking you to all be honest. And if you do have a daughter that's around 14 or 15,
don't let her watch Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
And stay away from that mall at Ridgemont and stereo salesmen in general. We'll see you next time. Sincerely yours, the Brothers Club.
Peace.